So we're going to film an airport run back from the airport in the car. And I'm going to take the back way. Driving in Kathmandu requires a lot of patience. You know, the roads aren't treated the same way as in the West. They're considered social spaces, you know. So it's perfectly acceptable to just be trotting down the road, and if you look at the state of these taxis, they're all beat up too because rubbing is racing, and you know, there's, for some reason it seems to be that if the person's in front of you, you got to give way to them. So it's not like anything that you would see in the West. I mean, lanes aren't really followed. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It's quite variable, but I'm not passing judgment on it at all because it flows pretty damn well. And one thing I love about Nepal traffic is that they're never aggressive. It's just necessity, you know. There's so much of it that people just find a way to get in and get around, and very rarely do you see road rage or fighting or carry on, or actual accidents. You don't see them. I mean, that truck there, you know, most Westerners would freak the hell out when they saw that, like, oh my god, he's on the wrong side of the road, like the motorcycle there and then the taxi. That just happens. It happens here, and just move out of the way and give them space. It's really that simple. And if you take the ego out of application of the rules, like you know, I was taught to follow this rule and that rule, and everybody's got to follow the rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then you're personally offending me because you're breaking the rules that I have to follow. Well, you know what? That's your problem, not their problem. Over here, buses just stop anywhere they want. There are actual bus stops and things, but I don't understand Nepal. I don't read it. They just stop. That's all I need to know. The road speeds are generally pretty low. We're doing 30 k's an hour now. And you know, motorcycles and other vehicles and road users, they'll overtake on the left or on the right, whichever way they can get past you, they'll do it. In most circumstances, I'm not usually getting past because I keep up with the traffic all right, but you know, sometimes there's people that want to get around faster than you. For me, it's all about safe progress, but this is a little bit cheeky, but this is totally acceptable in Nepal, whereas you'd have people screaming and throwing the fingers and honking and carrying on in any other country. Feels like a bit of oil on the road there. But, you know, that little dodgem effort there just to get around the slow moving traffic. You know, let's face it, if you did that in Switzerland and you were watched by the cops, or in Australia, they'd have you pulled over and licence and registration, and then, you know, failure to indicate, rah, rah, rah. You're a danger to society, take your licence off, you're sent to court for two weeks, some other garbage like that. Like about here is they just let you get on with it. So I'm going to try and take the back way here, which means I need to go right here. I think I can. See, even if I was wrong and this was a one way, you just just get a stern talking to, and that's about it. You know, you wouldn't be bollocksed or, you know, fined, so on and so forth. Whoop, this guy's come to a complete stop. Oh, you're nearly mated with a scooter then. This is what I mean by shared space. You know? This guy's at least getting out of the way. And the motorcycle doesn't give a shit. That happens a lot. I went right, I'm going to go straight and see what happens. Probably get lost. Just a little courtesy horn there. Now I've stopped because the guy in the taxi was hooting down the road. Motorcycle, a little bit of space there. See, now we've got a situation where we can't even get past because of this. And that's the other reality of Nepal, is this sort of bullshit. Sometimes there's very much a me first mentality in this place. And now it moves. How typical. Coming this way was a mistake. We're getting pushed back towards that main road. Oh, now that way's the river. We'll go that way. Yay! I want to follow the river. It's the usually the clearest way from the airport back towards Lalapur Baisapati area. Same principles as you do on a motorcycle and positioning for view. difference that I find in driving a car here than anywhere else is that the motorcycles are generally slow. Because they're all fairly low capacity machines. And of course the speed bumps suck. Crunch. Still, if you're going to travel in Kathmandu on a regular basis, the best mode of transport is still two wheels. Try and give the cars a little bit of space there to overtake. I know that you shouldn't generally encourage that, but if you don't give them the space, they're going to take it anyway. They'll come straight out in front of you and force you to evade. So at least that way I'm safe and they're safe as well. Doing 60 kilometers an hour in Kathmandu. It's very unusual. And it's about the only place you can, except for on the way out to Bhaktapur. See from the footage the state of the roads. Having a nice car in Kathmandu is well, I don't think it's very wise. It's a waste of money. Even a powerful car is pointless. The road speeds are so slow. And I've travelled a lot of places in Nepal, and there's very few areas where you could actually use a powerful car, if at all. Not to mention the safety of it. The average road speed's 40 km an hour and you're doing 80. People don't expect it. This stretch of road here is actually a one-way, but every now and then you get someone coming up it the wrong way, and it creates a lot of trouble. So there's a cow. Just slow down here because they can pretty much do anything. Do not hit a cow in Nepal. A lot. So if you're on a motorcycle and you're taking a left-hander and you're positioning for view, you want to make sure that you have a good safety margin for corner cutters. So of course, naturally, when I'm driving the car, I want to make sure that I'm not one of those corner cutters. But as I was saying before, there seems to be an approach here in Nepal that if the person in front has the right of way, even if you're changing lanes, you don't have to give way to what's in the lane you intend to move into, and that is a fundamental difference in approach. The drawback of that is that people literally, in all honesty and respect for the culture, they don't give an absolute shit about what's behind them once they're past you. So they'll just stop and do whatever they like, you know, just like the scooter there just stopped. You know, I'm actually going to turn left, but no concern whatsoever over what's behind them. So in many respects, it's kind of like rear vision mirrors are obsolete in Nepal. I know that's not true, but once you understand that, then it stops bothering you so much, and you just adapt to it, and you get used to it. And when riding a motorcycle and there's so many of you on the road and there's so much going on, it actually helps. It actually helps to just be able to focus on what's in front of you, knowing that the generally accepted rule is that if you give way to the traffic that's in front of you, because you would be focusing on your mirrors all the time and head checking, and then bam, you run into something that's in front of you because they've stopped. And you know, those of you that have done advanced riding and driving will say, well, you know, make a bigger gap, you know, so that doesn't happen. Well, sorry to tell you, but the minute you make a large safety gap, you're going to end up with 15 to 20 motorcycles stuffing themselves inside that gap. It will literally evaporate before your eyes. And the best defense is to flow with the traffic. For all those opinionated, I'm an IAMS qualified or Rosberg Gold or some other garbage like that, police trained, pursuit standard, blah blah blah, come and drive over here. Come and ride over here. See what it's like. I like with driving the car is that the horns aren't so loud. I've gotten used to them though. The horns don't bother me so much anymore. But for people that have just come over to visit, haven't spent any time in Asia or those sort of countries, the noise of the traffic can be a little harrowing. They honk all the time. Micro vans, menaces, total menaces. The little ones, the little green ones you see, the three-wheelers, they're called tempos here, not tuk-tuks. Don't call them tuk-tuks, you just piss the locals off. Someone's going to pull a U-turn. Going to try to pull a U-turn. The name of the game is patience. Purely patience. Just relax. realise you're not going to get there quickly, you're not going to make progress, and the rules won't be followed. Have to be prepared for the unexpected. The main reason they honk in Nepal is to tell you they're passing you, or as a warning. Every now and then you'll actually see a motorcycle kick another motorcycle because they do some silly things to each other, but it's quite rare. Now I've got like 50 bikes behind me at the moment. Roundabouts are a little bit weird. There doesn't seem to be any real hard and fast rule. Same as on the motorcycle videos. And as you can see, they don't particularly give the pedestrians a space on the pedestrian crossings. Which I've said in my other videos, you need to be aware of that. And if you're constantly braking and giving the pedestrians the space to cross the pedestrian crossing, they don't expect it from you, and they'll react badly, and it'll upset the rest of the traffic too. So you've got to kind of go with the flow and do what the locals do, which is generally they don't particularly yield to the pedestrians on the pedestrian crossings. So whatever's behind me can go to hell. Like any system, you know, some people take it too far. They get so used to people behind them just taking more due care and attention, and they figure, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to come out, I'm going to do this and you will avoid me.